Hey, what's up everyone? It's Bigfoot. No more than 24 hours ago, we got back from Trail Days 2017, but I wanted to introduce a special segment that we did while we were at Trail Days, specifically in Tent City, and that is our hiker interviews. Now, I only asked a few questions. It was really interesting, the perspective and the difference each one had depending on the things that they've had to persevere through during the first part of their journey. Now, there is a special hiker that shared with me a very touching story off camera. With his permission and the permission of a couple other folks that are involved in his story, he allowed me to do a second interview. I really hope you enjoy it. So this is part one of a two-part series of our hiker interviews. I hope you enjoy it.
G'day guys, this is Dirty Harry from South Australia.
Great. Hi, Dirty Harry. So how'd you get your trail name?
Harry's a nickname from back home. When I was in a pub, I decided trying to turn someone into a frog. So that sort of got me Harry. So I was going by that on the trail, and after about a month, I'm like, yeah, I don't really have a trail name. And the girl's like, Dirty Harry. And I'm like, all right, that'll do.
Cool. So where are you currently at on the trail?
Almost to Harper's Ferry, so just shy of 1,000 miles.
Awesome. And when did you start?
The 5th of March.
5th of March. Fantastic. So if you could go back and do just one thing over, if there's something you could tell your former self, what would it be?
Probably go slower, take a couple more zeros.
How many zeros have you taken so far?
Maybe 6 or 7.
6 or 7?
Yeah, definitely have a zero in Franklin. If not 2. So
Cool.
Good beer there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What is the coolest or craziest story that you have so far in your first 1,000 miles?
I was hiking along a ridge and rattlesnake hissed and started rattling at me right on the edge of the trail. Couldn't get around him. So I was like, oh, I'll sit down for 15 minutes, see if he wants to move. He didn't want to move. Another hiker came along. He's like, maybe if we throw stuff at him, he'll move. Didn't move. So I'm like, all right. I saw in a YouTube video once, you put a stick, you can lift them up. First stick broke in half because they were rotten. All right, got a really big log. Slowly pushed him over the edge of the cliff. He just rattled all the way down a few stories, and he was still rattling at the end. I'm sure he was fine, maybe. Yeah.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah.
Great. And do you have a vlog or a blog that we could follow you on?
Yeah, Matt Bradford on YouTube, just Appalachian Trail, and yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dirty Harry.
No worries, thank you.
Hi, my name's Kamikaze and I'm from Glasgow, Scotland.
Kamikaze. Awesome. So tell us how you got your name, Kamikaze.
Well, I was on day 3 of the trail and I'd been hiking in Scotland before, and Scotland's fairly flat, so I was used to putting in high mileage days. So I was used to 25, 30 mile days, and I got to my 3rd day, I left Neil's Gap and I figured I could do like a 25, 30 mile day. I tried 28 miles and I was very sick, my body just wasn't ready for it. So this word sort of spread of this because not many people on their 3rd day do 28 miles, and they all refer to me as the Kamikaze Scotsman, which so happens to be a comedy sketch in Britain. So I met another English guy and he named me the Kamikaze Scotsman.
Great. Love it.
Because I was obviously trying to kill myself.
Awesome. So where are you currently at right now on the trail?
I'm currently at Atkins, Virginia.
Atkins, Virginia.
So that's mile
Great.
544, I think.
Yep, it's right around there. Yeah, great. And what date did you start on?
I started April 23rd.
April 23rd.
So,
that's the same day I started last year.
Oh,
April
brilliant!
23rd.
Yeah, I'm moving. Everyone tells me I'm moving too fast, but I only have 107 days to hike the trail. That's why I was watching lots of your videos.
Yes.
I need to hike fast.
Well, yeah. So you said April 23rd, right?
Yeah, I have to finish by August 8th, so I have 107 days.
Yeah. Well, you're moving right now, man. If you are
I'm on track right now. I'm bang on schedule.
Cool. Awesome. So, what is one thing, knowing what you know now, what's one thing that you would do differently if you go back in time when you step foot on top of Springer Mountain? What would you like to tell yourself?
A few things probably.
Okay.
One, everybody says go light. I can't stress how important that is. the same time, in the Smokies, I didn't have enough wear. So I would say, up until the Smokies, don't worry about weight so much, because you've got 2,000 miles after that to go ultralight when you can push in the miles. Make sure you've got the right gear. In the Smokies, I didn't have the right gear. I had left too many warm clothes behind, and I was freezing at night. Number 2, the most important of all, eat well.
Eat well.
Eat well. I was trying to eat 3,000 calories a day, not the right stuff. That's not good. Work out what you enjoy eating beforehand and what you can eat regularly. Because some things, like I tried to eat Nutella and peanut butter, which is great calories, but my body didn't want it, so therefore I couldn't take it, if you get what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So you need to work out what your body wants. I've now figured that out, so I'm able to take 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day, which
Awesome.
I originally wasn't able to do.
Perfect. That's great advice. Tell us, last question, what is the craziest story so far during your first 500 and something miles?
Probably when we were in the Smokies. We were in a day of like really high winds. There was 100-mile-per-hour gusts, and we were all trying to get to Newfound Gap. And everybody had left earlier than us in the morning to get out. Me and my friend Cricket were the last two, and we got to Newfound Gap, and we realised that the road had been closed, and we're trying to hitch into Gatlinburg. There were trees literally falling down in the road all around us, which was terrifying. I'd never seen anything like it in my life. Luckily, the last car coming from Kingsman's Dome offered us a hitchhike into town. So we're going down, it's about 10 miles into Gatlinburg from Newfound Gap. And as we're driving down, there's trees colliding, falling down all over the place. And we're having to like manoeuvre the car around them, get out the car to like lift trees and all that sort of nonsense. And
Wow.
it was terrifying, but at the same time kind of exhilarating.
Oh, yeah.
And when you got into Gatlinburg and you realised everybody had made it there safe, it was such a great story. Because we heard Mountain Rescue had actually sent drones out to find the remaining hikers, which were me and Cricket. They sent drones out looking for us because they didn't have us accounted for, because we were the only two that weren't rescued by Mountain Rescue.
Wow.
We got an actual
So you were like the last people out of
I
that.
think we were the last two out. Yeah.
Wow, that is crazy, man.
So that was pretty crazy, and trying to get back into the Smokies the next day was even worse.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, thank you for that story. And lastly, is there a way that anybody could follow you? Do you have a YouTube channel or like a vlog or a blog or anything like that?
I'm only using Instagram currently, but if anyone wants to follow me on Instagram, that would be S18922.
Great. Kamikaze, it was a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
So I'm Cricket from Manchester in the United Kingdom.
Awesome. Cricket. How did you get your nickname, your trail name?
So on the first day, we were going up some slightly steep mountains, and someone made the mistake of asking me the rules of cricket. And so about half an hour later, they decided the only true name they could call me would be Cricket.
Awesome. Love it. Where are you currently at right now on the Appalachian Trail?
So we're at mile 544, which is Atkins.
Atkins.
So about 75 miles into Virginia.
Awesome. And you started April 23rd as well?
April 23rd.
Wow. And I told him that Kamikaze that was the exact same day that I started last year.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Exact same day.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And if you could, so knowing what you know right now, if you go back in time and tell yourself, your former self, one thing, what would it be?
People always tell you that AT is really, really hilly. It's not until I got onto the AT I realised just how hilly it was. So my advice to myself would be shed weight wherever you can. And it's, for me, it's not, a lot of things people get rid of are, like, get nice things, but there are certain things like, so I've got 2 jumpers with me. I'm planning just to get rid of a couple of one of those. I've got like shorts and trousers. I should have just gone for some zip-off trousers, like just small things like that. Because even when you just fill up your walk and things like that, you realise what a difference even a pound can make. And like, you won't feel it after a mile. You probably won't feel it after 10. But after 15 to 20 miles up a lot of hills, you'll start thinking like, I really wish I didn't have that extra pound there. Like, really does make a difference.
I totally understand that. So what is, and maybe you might have the same story as Kamikaze, what is the craziest experience so far during your Appalachian Trail thru-hike? Craziest story.
So for me, it's just the general weather is, I'm not sure what you said, but it's on or off. So coming from Britain, it's kind of, you get used to drizzle, and it's always drizzly. So it's never that hot. It would never be that cold, and it'll always be slightly damp. It's very much we've been hit by like 30 degree, well, I guess that's 85, 90 here, while going up hills. That really does like hit you. And on the other side, we've had 100-mile-an-hour winds. That hits you just as much.
That's what Kamikaze said. He told about your story. In the Smokies. That's crazy.
So the big one I would say is like expecting, like, I remember I've read books on the British Army before, the regiments there, and they were saying the one thing they would say is keep a sense of humour, like actually be able to, when the weather is crap and everything else is crap, and you're just having like, you're thinking like, why on earth am I doing this? Sometimes it is the easiest thing just to laugh and just say, there's nothing else you can do, just keep hiking. So my general motto for the trail is whenever because I've vaguely got a time, not as bad as Kamikaze, but I'm going to try and finish the same time as he is. And so yeah, one of the big things I'd say, whenever it feels hard, just go and put an extra 2 hours in. The way I justify it is I walk 2 to 3 miles an hour. I know if I put an hour in at the end of every single day, that's main done by itself. And especially when it's feeling hard, the only way to make yourself feel better really is get those extra miles done. And so yeah, in bad weather, I think I've been averaging higher than having good, just because when it's bad, just keep going. Like, it's going to be crap, whatever. You don't want to be
crap. Might as well go anyway.
Exactly. That's what I think.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Cricket. Is there a way for us to follow you on a vlog or Instagram or something like that?
So I've got a blog at the moment called www. What was it? headingoutsideblog.wordpress.com.
Awesome. Thank you, Cricket. I really appreciate it.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Stick in the Woods. I'm from Rolla, Missouri. I'm through hiking. It's a 40-year dream, and I'm finally getting to do it. And I started at the Amicalola Falls, did the Approach Trail on April 7th, and here I am back in Damascus, and I'm hiking along, and I'm talking to my new friend and Bigfoot and Miss Bigfoot. So here I am. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Stick in the Woods, for being here and being a part of this. So, first and foremost, how did you get your name, Stick in the Woods?
Okay, well, I was hiking with my kids about a year ago and getting ready for the trail, and I've always hike in the back. I'm a scout leader. And my kids said, Dad, you've got to be in the front. I said, I don't like being in the front. He says, well, you know, you're going to spend hundreds of miles, front, middle, and back. So they put me in the front, and then they warned me. They said, Dad, big responsibility in the front. You've got to look out for loose gravel, snakes, any impediment in the trail. And I said, it's a big responsibility. So, okay. So I'm hiking along, and the first thing I run into is about a 3-inch log laying in the trail. And I get there, and I'm just overwhelmed with the responsibility. I freeze. I go, and the first thing I could think is, stick in the woods. And my kids said, great, Dad, there's a stick in the woods. So that's how it became. There's another meaning for it now, too, because I get really disoriented real easy, and I get lost. I go the wrong way. So every night, if I go into a shelter or any area, if there's any question, I build a stick, an arrow out of sticks in the woods. So in the morning, I know which way to go. And then I kick it apart so I don't confuse anyone. So that's how I got the name.
Awesome. Thank you. So at this moment in time, obviously you're in Damascus here, but
right.
Where are you currently at on the Appalachian Trail?
Marion. I'm about 60 miles beyond. I started on April the 7th. I came through Damascus on last Sunday. Hiking great. So decided to get a little bit further, and we got to shuttle back. So I'm so glad I came back for trail days, and I'm going to take, it's actually my 4th and 5th zero is all. I haven't taken a lot of zeros. And so I'm headed back to, thank you, Monty. And and then I'll be headed back Sunday.
Cool.
So, yeah.
All right, so here's the big question.
Uh-huh.
Knowing what you know now,
Uh-huh.
532 miles in,
Uh-huh.
if you could go back and talk to yourself and give yourself one tip, what would it be?
Okay, the tip is to make sure that you've got something to keep you going. I've got several things. One, I'm doing a trail journal, and I've got my kids. I'm a retired teacher and principal. So the kids at my school are following my progress. They've got a map of the Appalachian Trail and this kind of little icon with a goofy icon with my face on it, and they're putting little footprints. So, and that's going on. Another thing is dedicate the trail to something that is so important that when the times may start to get tough, you can remember to do that. Another thing is cardio. I kind of joke, I say, watch Zombieland. Watch the movie Zombieland, because cardio, your weight, that's something that I've been doing for years too, but I really focused on your videos, Bigfoot, is, my base weight is 14.5 pounds. So I'm not killing myself with weight, and taking your time, being careful with the knees, and also it's just understanding where you're at. It's like, yeah, maybe it's tough. Going over the Grayson Highlands was hard. Oh my God, I don't know how you did it in the time you did. Just those rocks, but then taking the time to stop and look around and seeing what you're at, and the ponies and the scenery, and just really encompassing what you're doing, which is basically a 6-month camping trip. So yeah, it's
sticking the mud.
Yeah. Stick in the woods.
I almost said
I told the kids, I said, you got to call me Mr. Woods for respect. Most people just call me Stick.
Awesome.
So,
is there a way that we can follow you along your journey, like Instagram?
Absolutely. I am on Trail Journals, trailjournals.com/stickinthewoods. I've already gotten 22,000 views, and I've only looked at it 21,900 times. I'm just kidding. But no, I post on it every day that I can, and that way you can. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. It was a real pleasure.
Well, it's been a pleasure to talk to you and to meet you, man. I was really excited about you being here. So thanks a lot.
Thank you. Hey guys, Bigfoot here. We got Stick in the Woods here again. As you know, we did a little part of an interview, and Stick in the Woods was part of this interview. Well, after the interview, Stick in the Woods shared a really touching story with me, and with his permission, would love to be able to share that with you guys. And he gave me the permission, with also seeking out a couple other folks that this story really pertains to. So anyway, I want to kind of turn it over to Stick in the Woods, because I just thought this was just a very touching story.
Well, thanks, Bigfoot. The story I was telling Bigfoot yesterday, it's one of the inspirations that I have for hiking the trail. This is a 40-year dream for me. When I was 17, I read about the Appalachian Trail and wanted to do it, and I've shot my mouth off for 40 years about it. And years ago, I was a Cub Scout leader, and a young man named Bo had just moved up from Arkansas. He was 6 years old. He was a wolf cub, had a blue uniform, one of those big red felt patch vests that was too big for him so he could grow into it. And we met at a day camp. And first time I was talking to him, I said, Bo, I said, I have a patch vest just like that, because I was a scout as well, an Eagle Scout. I said, I'll bring it and show it to you at the next meeting. So I did, and I was showing him the patches, and there were a lot of hiking patches on it. And I said, Bo, someday, so first of all, you see, I love to hike. I just love to hike. And someday, I don't know when it'll be, but someday I'm going to thru-hike the whole Appalachian Trail. And his 6-year-old boy said, well, Mr. Smith, I'm going to do it with you. And all the way through Scouts, that was something that, he never wavered from. He loved the outdoors, loved to hike. He became a senior patrol leader of the troop. He's an Eagle Scout. Very unique man, good leader, youth leader, and he loved the outdoors. He loved hiking, high adventure. He joined the high adventure group young. I'd hike anywhere with him, and never wavered from that. Someday, Mr. Smith, I don't know when it'll be, but I'm going to hike the trail with you. Well, about 13 years ago, he was on his motorcycle and was hit by a drunk driver and was badly injured, and ended up dying from complications of that accident. And obviously, that was tough. And but I've got him with me. I've got a little vial of his remains with me here. And another story about this that's very touching and helpful for me is about a year after he died, his parents brought most of his remains back to Missouri, and we went up on a bluff on the Paddy Creek Trail, which was Bo's favorite place to camp and backpacking. It's a beautiful scene. It's a bluff. And we hiked up. It was about 5 miles, and there was about 15 of us maybe that went up there. And we went up and we did what you do. You know, we laughed, we cried, we told stories, we sang the silly songs that Bo used to like to tease the kids with, and then we spread his ashes. But the thing of it is that when we got there, a single butterfly, the only one we saw all day, came and landed on Bo's dad's shoulder, and was there the entire time we were there. And then when we left, it flew away, and that was the only butterfly we saw all day. On the way back, Bo's parents told me that the butterfly is the symbol of their grief support group that they had. And when you hike the trail, you don't see a whole lot of wildlife. I've seen 3 deer, I've seen a wild turkey, I haven't seen a bear yet, but I've seen Bigfoot now. But anyway, seriously, you see a lot of butterflies. And so when you see a butterfly, it just I kind of touch this. And so what I'm doing is in special places, every state line, cool places I've been, I take a little bit of Bo and I set him free. And I'm going to do that throughout the entire trail. And then when I get to Katahdin, his parents are going to meet me there at Baxter, so they can be there when Bo finishes, and I'll take him up to the top of Katahdin, and whatever I have left will be set free to the winds there. And so that, and on a kind of, his folks are still, they love their motorcycles, and so Bo's dad has said that the only fitting ending of this trip for me is they live in Providence, Rhode Island now. It's a 6.5 hour drive to Baxter. The only fitting ending for this is for me to go from Baxter back with them to Rhode Island, perched on the back of a Harley. So, that'll make a fitting end for it. But, yeah, he's a very special man and very special family. And, it's just, it's kind of bringing some closure. And so, he's with me.
Thank you so much, Stick in the Woods, for that touching story. Could you tell us one more time how we can follow you on your journey,
Sure.
Yours and Bo's journey?
Sure. Yeah, I'm on Trail Journals. It's trailjournals.com/stickinthewoods. And I post every day. I've got a lot of people following me. I'm a retired principal and teacher at a school of disabled children, and they've got a map of the AT on the multipurpose room, and they're following my adventure. And I've got a lot of family and friends, and all that together, kind of makes it so, barring catastrophic injury, not finishing isn't an option for me. And I've got a lot of things that really help when the going kind of gets tough, and it's the hills long, the rocks are tough. The rocks are what's getting me. Cold rain, I can handle that. Those rocks, it's just all these people that I know are with me, and so that's keeping me going.
Awesome. Well, guys, follow Stick in the Woods as he and Bo hike northbound to Katahdin.